Hello everybody, welcome to the Citrix Ready technical webinar series where we showcase how Citrix and our partners like Norscale collaborate to deliver valuable products and solutions to common problems faced by our customers. I'm Anil Kumar, your host for today, and I'm part of the Citrix Ready technical marketing team leading the network ecosystem. I'll be speaking to Alex Norris and Pierre Margman from Norscale today on how their solutions can help to deliver a cost-effective Citrix XenDesktop with great user experience. Norscale is dedicated to providing innovative, no-nonsense software solutions that are powerful, scalable, easy to manage, and cost-effective for enterprise companies and small businesses alike. So let me introduce to our speakers today. We have Alex Norris, who will be our main speaker from Norscale. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Neil. How's it going?
I'm good, thank you. So Alex, tell us a bit about yourself and the company. What do you do?
So I'm one of Norscale's consultants, so it means that I'm primarily responsible for assessing customer needs and deploying our software solution. I've been with the company for about 4 years now.
Excellent. And we also have Pierre Marignan, the CTO and CEO of Norscale today. Hi, Pierre. It's a pleasure to have you here this morning.
Hi, Anil. It's a pleasure too. Hello, everybody.
Hi. Pierre, we would like to know a bit about yourself and your company before we move on.
Actually, I've been working with Citrix products for like 13 years, and I faced a lot of issues regarding user experience and hardware density. So I decided to try to find new ways to optimize the systems to deliver a real cost-effective Citrix desktop and a real awesome user experience. And that's how it started a few years ago. And now the company is present in different countries and with a lot of customers, medium, small, and also really large enterprises.
Right, that's perfect. That's excellent, Pierre. All right, so Alex, if we could move to the next slide, please. Thank you. Right, so before we move on, a little background about what we do at Citrix Ready. Citrix Ready is a technology partner program that showcases and recommends third-party products, solutions, and services that demonstrate compatibility with our Citrix products. So with this, customers can quickly and easily find solutions recommended by Citrix in our Citrix Ready marketplace. So if you have any queries about Citrix Ready, if you would like to join the program or just visit our website to see our partner products, please visit citrix.com/ready. Right, so if Citrix desktop or application virtualization is your priority list, or whether you're having issues with slow logon times in your XenDesktop infrastructure or application issues, or even worried about how to implement a cost-effective XenDesktop infrastructure, just don't worry, okay? Our friends from Norscale are here to demonstrate how their Norscale and Transformer really helps to achieve that. So without any further ado, let me hand it over to Alex. Just one housekeeping item to keep in mind before or during the webinar. If you have any questions, just use the question panel on the right side, and we will address your questions during the Q&A session at the end, and we'll try and take the questions in the middle of the webinar as well. So please welcome our main speaker, Alex Norris. Alex, over to you, and it's all yours.
Thanks very much, Anil. So a quick word about Norscale before we go into the actual presentation. So who are we? We're a UK-based software vendor. We do business in Europe, the US, Japan, and South Africa. We have more than 200 enterprise customers spread across 12 countries. We're an award-winning industry leader. and we primarily sell through our channel partners. So what do? We provide a 100% software solution that works on any Microsoft Windows-based environment that provides enterprise customers with the best possible workspace performance for their users and the best possible ROI for their business. It's quick and easy to deploy, and Norscale technology uses innovative algorithms that streamline the way XenApp, XenDesktop, and physical PCs consume system resources, which allows you to reduce desktop and server requirements by up to 70%. We've also got what we call Transformer. Transformer is a module that works with Norscale to further reduce rollout times and deployment costs of all your Citrix virtualization projects by instantly converting a connected Windows terminal into a virtual machine client. So we've been in the industry for a while now, and when we started, we identified 3 of the biggest issues that are faced by end users in enterprise IT environments. And these are slow login times, which can escalate to 45 seconds or longer once you start piling on those GPOs, the GPPs, login scripts, etc. Slow or unresponsive applications, and hardware costs, which keep increasing since software upgrades require regular hardware upgrades to retain performance. And we found that these issues significantly impact user experience, and they significantly impact internal perception of your IT department, obviously negatively. So here's what our technology provides. Norscale gives you the best possible user experience with login times under 15 seconds and applications which are always responsive. We give you significant hardware savings by allowing you to increase user density on XenApp and XenDesktop servers, and by lengthening your server and desktop hardware life cycles. And we provide all this as a software solution which is easy to deploy and which simplifies the management of even the most complex IT environment. So I'm going to briefly switch over to our Citrix web store. I'm going to log in with one of our demo accounts, and I'm just going to give you a very quick demo of what our software looks like. So we've got a couple of VMs here. I'm going to quickly run the Windows 7 VM. And once it's done connecting, so there we go. Right off the bat, you can see that we've environment configuration. So we've locked down parts of the machine, and all of these settings are being applied via our agent. Okay, so if we run sort of a couple of applications on this machine, so I'm going to run IE first. We're going to browse a little bit around just for the sake of building up that RAM usage. And if I open Task Manager quickly, we'll locate our IE settings, or system processes rather, sorry, and you'll note that we have, let's say, about 36 megs of RAM being used by IE right now. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize IE, and we'll come back to this in a few minutes to show you the effect of RAM optimization on processes that are running in the user session. But first, let's launch a couple of other applications. So Excel, as you can see, pops up instantly, and Word, same thing. I'm going to close these down, and we're going to go to the Performance tab in our Task Manager. So as you can see, this is a fairly lightweight VM. It's more or less sized to something that would accurately represent a Windows 7 VM running in one of our customers' environments. Right? And what we're going to do now is we're going to run this application we've called CPU Eater. So this is a fairly straightforward application that we've developed in-house. All it does is it maxes a number of CPU cores that is equal to the number of working threads that's configured here. So if I turn it on, you'll see that immediately our CPU usage on this VM spikes to 100%. If I then go and launch my Excel and my Word, you can see that even though we're currently using 100% of the CPU that's available on this machine, our applications are still running instantly, and they're still able to be used by the user with no negative impact whatsoever, regardless of the amount of resources that are in use. So it's important to know that obviously in an enterprise environment, in a production environment rather, you wouldn't realistically see 100% CPU usage, but the technology obviously works for 100% CPU usage, works for 70% CPU usage, works for whatever CPU usage you will realistically run into on your servers and your desktops in your enterprise environments. And not only does it work for CPU usage, if we'd had an application that maxed out disk usage, we would have seen the exact same results because we optimize both CPU and I/O and RAM. So I'm just going to disable my RAM optimization do its thing.
Should we take a couple of questions in the meantime? We have a lot coming in actually.
I think now would be a good time. It seems like a natural break.
Right. So a couple of questions asking if there's a management pack and if there's an API available to include Norscale and the existing environments.
So that's more of a question for Pierre.
Sure.
Yes. So, what do you mean by integrating Norscale in an actual environment? By management pack or API, you mean Norscale being configured by something else?
It could be. The question is not complete. So the question is if you have a management pack for Norscale, it's that simple, and if an API exists.
Okay, we are using an API-based architecture. So you can use our console to manage the product, but you can also directly discuss with the APIs if you wish to.
Sounds good. And how easy is it to install and manage Norscale?
The way we've designed it is to make it really easy to install and manage. You have setups that are using install shell technology that are embedding all prerequisites, and then you will have wizards to create a central database, configure everything, and get ready. We've also included some relevant templates depending if you are using XenApp, XenDesktop, or physical PCs, so that most of the default settings are correctly configured for you, and then you can adjust using your environment specifications. But usually, for the resource optimization thing, you can be up and running within an hour.
That sounds good. And just one more question before we give it back to Alex to the demo. Will Norscale work in a XenApp deployment where they are using server desktop for end users?
Could you repeat, please?
Does Norscale work in a XenApp deployment where you're sharing out a server desktop for end users?
Yes, sure. It's working in a XenApp context, XenDesktop context, but also on physical PCs. Excellent.
All right, so we have a lot of questions coming in, but we'll take it once again in between. But let's get back to Alex and the demo once again.
Sure. So the next couple of slides after this one are going to be a bit more technical. Not a huge amount more technical, but a little bit. So just a quick note on some of our customers. So as mentioned at the start, we have over 200 customers spread across pretty much every industry, whether it's retail, finance, healthcare, manufacturing, or public services. Our users range in size from our customers range in size from a few hundred users to our biggest customer right now is 80,000 users. And to go back to one of the questions that was asked a few seconds ago, this 80,000 user customer is running a XenApp/XenDesktop environment. So obviously the technology has been proven to work in an enterprise context, and it scales to very large user counts.
Excellent, right.
So just a few of the results that we've obtained for our customers in their production environments as well. As you can see, physical workstation life cycles have been extended by 1.5 to 2 years. And server density has been increased by a minimum of 30%, again for XenDesktop and XenApp environments. So that's just to be clear, it's 30% more users on each server, obviously. So here we go. Here's a quick overview of exactly what we do. Okay, so the following is not going to come across as a novel concept to anyone, I think. Obviously, when you run an application, each application needs a certain percentage of CPU and disk usage to run. So in a theoretical optimal environment, where 100% of the CPU and disk are available at all times to all of your applications, you have an execution time for an application that represents the best possible execution time, right? And in this graph, what we've done is we've drawn them as these bars. But obviously, in a real Windows environment, you are going to have these resources that you have in limited amounts shared between your applications that are trying to execute in a user context, but also other things that are going on in the background, whether it's antivirus scans, Windows updates, other Windows services, or obviously if you're going to a XenDesktop, XenApp server environment, you'll have multiple users on a server, which means that not only will you have these other activities that are taking up resources, but you'll have those multiplied by the number of users you have. So unfortunately, you can't magically change the amount of resources that an application needs in order to run. So our solution is to analyze what the users and the applications are doing in real time, and then dynamically adjust CPU and I/O priority to maximize application performance. So what we do is we elevate the priority for the user applications, and we lower priority for non-user applications. And this means that anything that's running within your user session will always be able to take the resources that it needs to run, which gives your users applications that react instantly and a working environment that is very fast, very snappy. So what we also do, sorry, was there a question, Neil?
No. I mean, I was just amazed how it really, I mean, how intuitive it is. So you could carry on, no problem.
So what we also do is we also optimize memory consumption. So obviously everyone knows, again, that over time, the amount of memory consumed by a process increases as it reserves more RAM, but doesn't release it. So again, what we can do is we can analyze currently running applications and determine which of them are in immediate use and which ones are idle. Okay, so if I go back to my demo session from earlier, if we now look at our processes, as you can see, when we last tabbed out of this, we had an IE RAM usage that was at 35, 36 megs, and now we're down to 6 megs. And we'll see if I move my task manager to the side slightly. If I open IE and start browsing around, as you can see, even just reopening it, IE has taken the RAM that it needs to function again, but even then, we're at more or less half of the amount of RAM that IE took when it first launched earlier in the demo. So you can see the difference here on these graphs. On the left, we have a XenApp production environment without Norscale, and on the right we have one that is running with Norscale. So the first thing to note is the scale of these graphs is different, right? If you look at the no Norscale environment on the left, the scale goes up to 7,000 megs of RAM, and on the right, it's 3,000. Obviously, very big difference. So functionally, what this means is that in your XenApp, your XenDesktop production environments, you can reduce RAM consumption by 60% and therefore accommodate up to 50% more users per server. So together, these two systems, the CPU and I/O optimization and the RAM optimization, mean that you can drastically prolong the life cycle of your hardware and thus significantly reduce the number of servers you require and also not have to do hardware refreshes as frequently. So Anil, I think you had a few things to add about how you guys over at Citrix tested our solution.
Right. And thanks, Alex. I mean, it's excellent. We could see it, and it was an excellent demo, if you ask me. How Norscale keeps working in the background intelligently and gives the resource to users for the application that they're really working on, and very intuitive. And we did see this in our test environment, and you could see the results on the screen. So during our testing, as Alex pointed out, Norscale can optimize the way applications consume RAM, CPU, and I/O operations, and it really reduces the hardware requirements, delivering a better ROI. So our solution architects at Citrix, we performed a thorough testing of Norscale on a XenApp infrastructure. We had 4 XenApp servers with 5 to 10 active users running on each server. Also, it's very important to note that Norscale was installed on these servers in a default out-of-the-box configuration, and these are the results we got. So there was no tweak. It was just a default configuration. So if you see the graph on the side, the CPU utilization has really reduced for 20 in the range of 23%, and that's what Norscale team had promised, that there would be a CPU utilization of about 20 to 25%, and that's well within the range. And the reason for this is largely due to the Norscale's ability to provide Windows processes a longer time slice at the CPU. And if you see the context switching, so that you can see a huge reduction there as well, about 23%. And this again is due to Norscale's ability again to provide a longer time to Windows processes, and therefore you can see the CPU and the context switching really being optimized over there. And when it comes to memory, we could not really observe any reductions during our testing, but in theory, Norscale should be able to use the physical memory more effectively and reduce the amount of data which needs to be written on the disk. Norscale also includes an early stage IOPS reduction algorithm, which reduces the input-output operations by changing the priorities of processes. And that's the reason you can see this huge reduction in the read-write IOPS, about 50% optimization over there. So with this, Norscale, with the use of Norscale, IT can.
Okay, I think we've lost Anil, so I'll go ahead and continue with the last few slides of this, and then hopefully Anil will be able to rejoin us and finish his part of the presentation. And sorry about this, folks. So I just want to quickly go over the last component in what we offer. So as mentioned at the start of the demo, we have our Transformer module. So Transformer is designed for users who have a physical desktop and whom you wish to provide with access to a virtual desktop or to applications hosted in a data center. It's a software-only solution that lets you convert your users' workstations instantly into the equivalent of a Windows thin client, giving them access to a virtualized environment without replacing the physical hardware. So this allows you to keep your physical workstations and accelerate the deployment of your virtualization projects, and obviously reduce the financial cost of that migration, since again, no hardware refresh. So this next slide is a quick case study from our biggest customer yet, so the 80,000 user customer I mentioned earlier. So their project was to upgrade from their current release of AGFA, which is their patient medical records software, to the newest release. Unfortunately, as part of this, they discovered that the new release of this core business software consumes twice as much RAM as the previous version. So obviously, the sizing of their servers had to be adjusted, the hardware needed to be doubled, and physical computers that were running the application also had to be renewed or upgraded. On top of that, they discovered that it took them more than 30 seconds for users to access Citrix virtualized applications. And this was on an environment that is both XenApp and XenDesktop. So what did we do? We deployed our software solution in less than a week, fully deployed, fully configured on all of their XenApp and XenDesktop environments across all 80,000 users. So here's the results that they observed as a result of our deployment. So first of all, the RAM consumed by AGFA, again their core business software, was reduced by over 50%, which saved them from having to do a hardware refresh, server or PC. But obviously on top of that, our technology applies to all the applications that are in use, reducing the total cost of their infrastructure by allowing them to put more users on each of their XenDesktop and XenApp servers. And in total, this gave them an instantly observable return on investment of slightly over $2.5 million. On top of that, obviously, because we helped with performance across all of their servers, their end users are now much more satisfied with the working environment provided to them by their IT department. So applications are now delivering the best possible level of reactivity for end users, and login times for users to access all of their Windows-based environments have been reduced to less than 15 seconds. So if you've got any questions or you want to try the software yourself, the trial version of the software is freely downloadable on our website at www.norscale.com. You can email us directly on info@norscale.com to ask any questions you've got that aren't covered in the Q&A session we're going to have in a few seconds. And of course, you can follow and get in touch with us on linkedin.com/company/Norscale, or on Twitter at twitter.com/Norscale. It's obviously at Norscale on Twitter. So hopefully Anil is on his way back.
Oh, hey, Alex, sorry about that.
That's all right. Shall I go back to your slides so you can you finish presenting the results?
Definitely. I completely apologize. I think there was an internet issue. Sorry about that. Do we know where did we cut off?
You just finished describing the read and write I/O results you'd observed.
All right. All right. So as I was mentioning, so the testing was done in our RTST environment and a very default out-of-the-box configuration of Norscale installed on our XenApp servers. We had about 4 XenApp servers and we had 5 to 10 active users on each of these servers, and these are the averaged results of about 2 weeks of testing. So you can really see a significant decrease in the amount of CPU and the context switches which were being used, and same with the read-write IOPS. So with this, I mean that's what I wanted to explain, and I just wanted to tell how Norscale keeps the Citrix environment really agile and ensures fastest desktop login and application execution times possible for an enhanced user experience.
Anil, this is Pierre speaking. May I add something regarding the memory consumption?
Definitely.
Because when we actually, just for the audience to know, the tests have been running for 2 weeks, and we discovered at the end of the 2 weeks that the memory counters, some memory counters were missing. So that also explains the results. We did not have any time to redo full 2 weeks of testing with other counters that would show what Alex has shown you during the demo.
That's right. Completely agree with it. And Alex, should we move on to the questions? We have quite a few which have come during this time.
Yep, I think now would be a great time for a Q&A session.
All right, definitely. So is there a trial version of Norscale available, and what's the trial? I mean, if at all, if you give out trial licenses or trial version of the software.
So yes, absolutely. As I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, so you can freely download the trial version on our website, which is www.norscale.com, and that will come with everything you need to get Norscale up and running for up to 10 users, including the transformer module as part of that as well. And it obviously comes with all of the information you need to be able to install Norscale yourself in whatever test environment you want to install it in.
Excellent. And here's a very interesting question. So they would like to know, what one of our attendees would like to know if Norscale really optimizes or enhances Flash and Windows media redirection in an ICA session.
I think Pierre would probably be better placed to answer that.
Yes, the thing is we are working on the Windows level. We're not working inside the ICA session. But Flash is a known product for having a high CPU usage. Therefore, we will optimize it. And we will prevent any Flash session to like kill a server, and while allowing other applications to work properly. But we won't do anything inside the ICS session. Our technology is really based on Windows. We do not have any driver not to be intrusive and risk to break any application. So we are not so far going into the ICS session.
Sounds good. And one of our attendees would like to know how to deploy Norscale in a lockdown environment for a PC for a POC. Is there is database Active Directory one of the requirements?
Yeah. Actually, we have a two-tier architecture with a SQL database to store all our data, and we have a server we call the broker that is, let's say, the man in the middle between console agents and the database, which means the database will never be exposed. We are compatible with the SQL Express if you wish to use SQL Express for a POC. Even if it's working in production, we can't advise to use SQL Express in production because it's not supported by Microsoft anyway. But it's quite really easy to isolate a few users for a POC, and we are using Active Directory for any authorization, even for admins and for users.
Sounds good. And we have one more very technical question again to you, Pierre. So would it be possible to use Norscale or enable Norscale only to a part of the infrastructure, for example, only to XenDesktops and not to the local computers? And how is the licensing?
The licensing is user-based. So we have named user licenses and concurrent users licenses, depending on the customer requirements. And the technology is working where you install the agent. So it will optimize and run everything where you want to use it. And all modules of the product, because you've seen the fast plugins and the optimization, are completely independent, which means you can decide to run optimization only on some computers and optimization plus fast plugins on other computers or only for specific users. This is really flexible.
Sounds good. And I think we have a question regarding the transformer. Is it possible to deploy Norscale on multiple machines on the go at the same time?
Yes, sure. Actually, it's the same. It's an MSI package, so you can deploy it on physical desktops and also on XenApp servers, and use any deployment tool to push the package.
Sounds wonderful. So there's something about the cost. I'm not sure if you'd like to disclose it here, but one of the attendees would like to know what would be the cost if they want to deploy Norscale for 60 users.
I think the best is to contact us at info@norscale.com so that our team will answer directly, because the cost is changing depending on the number of users. So I just don't want to make any mistake.
No problem. There's one question about comparison. I mean, how similar or what's the comparison with Atlantis? That's what they'd like to know.
Solutions like Atlantis are really focused on the storage, and they will help you whatever issue you have with your storage and the storage performance. In our case, what we are doing is that we are adding intelligence to Windows for Windows to properly manage resources. Therefore, it's decreasing the amount of resources, including IOPS, that any Windows session would consume, but it's ready for Windows users, like in XenApp sessions or XenDesktop sessions. It won't help if you have storage issues that only solutions like Atlantis could solve. but obviously we would help by decreasing the average user footprint.
Sounds good. All right, so we have some more questions. I think we could. These are very specific regarding the product and the cost which is being incurred. I think we could take this offline, and either Alex or Pierre or me would get back to them personally.
Yes, sure. Well, what I would add is, because we've been focusing on a lot of things, is that the fast login feature is obviously because we do have a complete UEM solution that allows you to replace all that could slow down a logon, including login scripts, group policy preferences, etc. And so you could manage with our product all the workspace settings, but also the lockdown settings that have been mentioned earlier.
Sounds wonderful, Pierre. And we did get some question. Many attendees do ask if this webinar is being recorded and if it would be available. Yes, it would be available, and we'll send out email communications with the link to access the webinar recording in a day or two's time. So if we don't have any questions, I think I want to thank everyone who has been able to join in today and attend this webinar. I think it had a lot of great information, a great demo, and Norscale is one of the products I think we could suggest to our partners and customers. So with that said, we are about to end today's webinar. I want to take a moment and thank Pierre and Alex who have been able to give this fantastic presentation and demo and sharing their great insights with us. And last but not least, I want to apologize that there was a brief cut down in between, but I want to thank each and everyone who have attended this webinar today in the Citrix Ready Technical Webinar Series. And this shall conclude our broadcast today. Thank you.
And if I can just add, on behalf of Norscale, obviously, thank you for everyone for listening to what we've had to say today, and thanks to you, Neil, for being gracious enough to host us.
No problem. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Anil. Bye.